Yeah, we live downtown. We're right South Loop area, Pruners Row. So you come downtown on Congress Parkway, which is the main road in. You hit the Sears Tower. We're about 2 blocks south of it. So nice.
Well, shoot, and we'll get started. I appreciate
Yeah,
it. I didn't have any set notes, or I put a couple notes here so I don't forget to ask some
sure.
questions that would be goofy.
Yeah, I mean, do you have like specific things you want to dig into, or you want me to just kind of say, hey, what I'm doing, my dials, my script, what I'm saying on the phone, at the door, stuff like that? Like,
Sure. What's your average lead budget?
sure.
How many leads you get in a week approximately? And then what are you doing with them?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So
for everybody that's listening, we're talking about bang bang leads, whether you love me or hate me. I know there's a bunch of them out there, direct mail, other lead vendors, internet lead, whatever you want. But we're specifically talking about the leads that Mike buys from my company.
yep. So absolutely, man. So yeah, I'm usually getting close to about 50 leads every single week, and I've been staying pretty consistent with it. And the consistency compounds. Not every day I go out in the field. I have a $7,000-10,000 AP day, but I do get them. But some days I'll get out there and I'll say, hey, I sell the first one and I sell the last one, and everything in between was just it just didn't go the way it goes. But the biggest thing with the leads and with the activity I put into it, I try to stay consistent as possible with my schedule, and I think that is one of the biggest things that helps me. Your leads have been able to help me stay consistent because the quickness behind them. Because when I put in an order, your turnaround is super fast, and I'm getting them direct to my phone, which I love, because when I'm out in the field and I get a no show, right, and I'm just instead of just twiddling my thumbs waiting to the next one, it's like I've got leads that are popping in on my phone, like live, like on the spot, that I can say, look, I know this guy literally just did some research on insurance, that I can go knock on his door and let him think it be fate that I just was in the area that day, that he had an insurance guy show up at his door to come and sell him. Because I have those people tell me that all the time, dude. It's like I will get that lead popped up on my text message on my phone. I'll go knock on that door in between my meetings, and they're just like, we were just talking about insurance, and then you show up at our door. And I'm like, like crazy.
They are
Like,
listening.
fate,
That's
right?
awesome. Right
So
on.
yeah, I'm usually getting about 50, and then yeah, I'm hopping on the phone as soon as possible. I'm trying to set anywhere from 8 to 10 appointments every field day. So, for example, like today, I'm going to be making dials for tomorrow. And, I got a couple appointments set that were kind of like overflow from earlier in the week. Because, sometimes, dude, I no show appointments. And when I do that, it's kind of a crazy thing, because, you're used to having that turned around the other way, is that people are no showing you. Well, I set up so many appointments in my schedule that sometimes I don't have the time to make it to that one. So if
That's awesome.
yeah, if that happens, dude, I literally just go back to that same house at that same time on a different day, and I
Those are good
work.
tips, man. I hope people watching are getting those takeaways.
I work.
So yeah, if
Mhm.
you want to talk about, so you call, you dial, you try to set 8 to 10 appointments for your run day, and in between you're banging on a door. So you take one of my leads. Talk about that. Do you have something printed out? You using your phone? What are you saying?
Yeah, so I don't have anything printed out. I don't show them anything either. And I go and knock on that door. So say like a text message comes through on some new leads, or even if they're older leads, 6 months, whatever. If I'm in an area and I get a no show, what I go to is my on my iPhone. You can search in your text messages, whatever text or a number or whatever. So I'll go to my text messages on my iPhone. I'll go to the very top and I'll search the zip code that I'm in. And when I do that, it'll pop up all the leads that you've sent me via text with the zip code. So
Seriously?
then,
Say that
yeah.
again.
So when I am in an area, I get a no show, I have some time to do door knocks, I will go to my text messages on my iPhone, and you can search, numbers, certain
Yeah.
words,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Never
I'll,
even
I'll
thought about
type
that.
I'll type in the zip code that I'm in. So if I'm in like 60625, I'll type in 60625, and then all the leads from Bang Bang are going to show up in 60625 on my iPhone.
Oh, that's gold. I never
So
thought about that. I found out you can drop a picture in there and it'll find the text of the person that sent it to you. I never thought about zip code.
yeah, you can search the
Wow.
zip, and that's been super helpful because then I have like the newest to date and even the older ones because I all my text messages are saved in my phone. It'll show all the leads that I've gotten in the area in that zip, so that I know, okay, well, I've got 7 other places that I can go knock on. I'll double check the names, make sure I didn't meet with them or already sold them or whatever. If I have to go back into your portal, I'll go back in your portal because that's where I keep all my notes.
Yeah.
Whether I set, an appointment, and then if I sold them, and then, if they're not interested on the phone, that doesn't mean they're not interested at the door. So I don't care if they tell me no, I'll just still knock. And then what I'll do is once I find in the text message that person, filled out the lead in the text message, I'll see, all right, this guy's in this area. What I'll do is I'll copy and paste the email address, and I'll go back to my emails on my phone because this is all my car, like in my driver's seat, like I'm parked or something. I will take that email address and I'll search it in my email inbox.
Yeah.
And it'll pull up the Bang Bang lead because everyone's email address is attached to that PDF that you send out. So I will get the PDF right there on my phone. If I need to show the client or the lead, the actual thing, most of the time, dude, like I don't really get asked about it. I'll get asked about it maybe like after I'm getting the application done. They're going to be like, how do we connect anyway? And I'll be like, oh, here, I'll show you.
Man.
And then I'll show them the thing on my phone and like they'll see the American flag. I'm like, oh, okay. Or I'll just zoom in on their info and I'll be like, hey, right there's your number, there's your name, email. Oh, okay. But when I get to the door, dude, this is what I'm doing. So I knock on the door, person answers. I already assume it's them. I have an idea just by looking at their date of birth. If it's a younger person and it says they're 75, I'm not going to see it. But once I get to that person in front of me, I just go, hey, John. And they go, hey, my name's Mike Marisi. I've been trying to get a hold of you at your 219 number. And I know a lot of times you just don't recognize the number. You're not going to answer them the same way. So I came by. It's about the county regulated programs. I just need to get through some info, see if you're eligible for anything. It just takes a few minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah. I would like to think that I would have thought of everything you're talking about, of searching the text and then the email and pulling it up while you're out there. I don't know. That's awesome, man. You put that together. And what I'm sitting here thinking is when I started with NAA and we were recruiting and training, the first thing my managers trained me on were direct mail, mortgage protection, which were usually a term. And we had one, they started with a product. So you weren't like overwhelmed with 20 companies and each company's product. And I didn't even know a final expense lead existed until, I don't know, a few months in. But what I'm thinking here that you're overcoming without even having to deal with it is somebody saying, I didn't do that. And you're like, oh, right, here's your name. Because we used to have that hand filled out signed one. And you probably still get them. Which obviously these internet leads or Facebook leads or leads from Google, whatever you want to call them, they don't have a signature. So you don't have that signed paper. And even when you would, some people would still say, nope, wasn't me. So by doing what you're doing, man, you're overcoming all those objections don't even come up. I mean, how you presented yourself makes me want to know, what the heck's this guy talking about?
Yeah, I know.
You were confrontational. It wasn't like, because as soon as you, and everybody's sales training, I'm sure as much, everybody knows this, or at least they'll probably hear it. People don't like to be told what they already know. They're like, even if especially if they're wrong, but nobody wants to be told you did this. No, I didn't. I don't know. Who are you to tell me what I did? So right. Awesome on that. That's sweet. Training, and then people just start out right on leads. One of the things you guys offer with your company are trips. So like, how's that working out? Like, have you ever made a trip?
Yeah, every single one, dude. So and you never want to miss it. So I've been in the industry for about 4 years. It's coming up this coming September, October this year. I'll be in the industry 4 years. I started out part-time. So the first 3-4 months I did part-time. I used to do pharmaceutical sales. So I worked this job in the moonlight, and, I was doing it on the weekends, the evenings, whatever. And I just started making the money, dude, that would replace the normal job during the week. And I was like, look, if I could do X amount of dollars in a few days a week, replacing what I'm doing Monday through Friday, what the hell am I doing? So I switched out, And when I did that, the first full year that I had the business, rolling full time, one earned the trip, which was an Alaskan cruise. Things were backed up because COVID hit that first year. So things were backed up to that next year. And then we got the next year's trip, which was Aruba. It was supposed to be Thailand, got switched to Aruba, which we won. So
Nice.
every year I've been here, we've gone every single trip. We're going to Cancun next month for 7 days, and it's not just me; it's me plus one. So me and my wife get to go. All of our
Sweet.
flights are taken care of, dude. It's like top of the line. We get stipend for showing up. All our food, drinks are taken care of. We'll have an excursion, all that stuff. It'll be a blast. We're excited. We're going to Cancun, and then next year we're going to Ireland. So
Wow. And how far? So what do you got to do to qualify for that trip? You getting close to it?
you have to sell 135,000 AP.
Okay.
And so it's points is what they call, and $1 in AP is a point. So right now I think I'm at like 80,000
Oh shoot.
AP.
Got it, man. You're 4 months in.
So yeah, dude. So like this year my numbers, I'm way past what I did last year. Because last year, like I made it, I think in December, the trip, and this year
That gets scary, right? You're down to the wire trying to get
It
stuff
got a little
issued.
scary last year.
What do you mean they're on vacation for the holidays? Get back in there, underwriter.
Yeah. So this year, I've blown past it. I mean, I'm way past halfway already, and we're halfway through May. So this year, I've been doing a lot better, and it's not just me. I think it's really the perception of my eyes opening up to what I need to get this business done correctly. And I think some of the biggest things were not only the activity. I changed my goals from the dollar amounts that I wanted to sell to the activity amounts that I needed to do every single week. And, a few of my mentors last year at the end of the year, they were talking to me about, my goals and all this stuff. And Andy Albright, CEO of NAA, he goes, look, Mike, he goes, change your dollar amount of what you want to make to the activity that you want to do to get there every single week. Cause he's like, dude, if you want to make 250K, well, if you do that in the first 6 months, are you done for the rest of the year?
Yeah, you're mentally saying, I made it. I can get on coasting.
So I switched it out, man. So I switched out. I run 30 appointments a week. So that's my activity is 30 appointments a week, 3 days in the field. Whatever amount of dials I have to do the day before or 2 days before, whatever it is to hit it. Whether it's an appointment I set or I knock on the door, I aim for 30 every single week. Leads. Your leads coming through as quick as they are. That's been a huge part of the success too. You'll get, other vendors that, either you're buying aged stuff that's been stacked up, or they just take too much time for them to fill up that quick. So, your business has been definitely a big part of my success. So thank you for, having your system the way it's set up and how it all works. Cause it's been working wonders for me and for my business. So appreciate all the work you're doing.
Yeah, and leads coming in quick. So, and just recently, like last week, I was stumbling on urine, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. So and I noticed your lead flow had slowed down. I made a mistake. And then what I'm just getting at here with people is communication's massive, right?
For sure.
I mean, it's what they call it, the lubrication of communication is the lubrication of the financial world. I think I forget who at NA told me that one day because I was waiting around for something. Yeah, and I got that message back. I'm like, okay, lesson learned. I won't wait 24 hours again before I raise my hand. But what I'm getting at here is I don't know how long you and I have been working together, and you've been buying leads, and not only you, but also your team. I know like just yesterday or today, whatever, hey, I need some leads down in Florida. You're still in Chicago, so either you're going there for the weekend or you got an agent down there. But I know other people on your team get leads as well. And one thing that what I was going to get at is if you take away from this as far as contacting me, I know these aren't direct mail leads and they aren't perfect, and I know people can put in a wrong phone number. It happens. Maybe an email. We run all kinds of softwares in the background to stop that from happening, but it still happens. What I see from Mike, and I guess what I'm doing here is talking to people that are watching, but what I see, or what I feel like when you're doing, and I have a lot of other agents, you get 50 leads on average a week. Sometimes you get more. And when you send me a number, hey, can you get me another 20 or 30? I know what's happening. I think maybe either you're training an agent or you're not hitting your activity that you want. And you're like, so what could you do? Well, you could quit. That's an option. You go get another job. You could be pissed off. I spent my money and this isn't happening. Or say, man, double down. Let's get them. That next lead could be it. So I don't know if that's what you're doing. I see that. I know that's a lot of what a lot of agents, the agents that buy the most leads through me and probably other vendors are have that mindset, whether they're paying $1 a lead or $100 a lead for presets or whatever it is they're paying. So that's awesome. And then stay in touch. Like Mike was just saying, the leads flow in. We made a couple tweaks over, what is today, Friday? Was that earlier in this week? Or
Yeah,
over the weekend? I don't know. But that last
something.
batch of 50 that you ordered, man, I happened to look like the next day and they were fine. But we tweaked on that for a few weeks, testing zip codes and different stuff. So communication. I always say, and blow me up if somebody messages in and they want some help, but that's been huge.
Yeah, I agree on that too, man. And you've been great because you're super responsive. I shoot you a text for whatever, you're getting back to me super fast.
Try. If I don't text again, right, you know the drill. You just shoot another one. You're one of the only agents I know, St. Louis, and I'm sure other big cities have this same, I don't know what word should use, but the thought that I know, like in St. Louis, for instance, when I was getting leads through the Alliance, the direct mail leads, there was always a massive amount there. And it just had this at the local meetings or different people, they had this thing, hey, it's tough to sell there. And I didn't grow up in the city. So it would have definitely, for me, I grew up in the country. But you're crushing the Chicago area. And people always, usually what I hear about the big cities is people are saying, can you exclude the zip codes of the cities? They want to stay out on the outlier. So a tip for Mike, hit those cities, man, and do what he's doing. Everybody doesn't look like you and talk. I mean, you're in Chicago. I can imagine the different types of people that are there when you go door knocking, and just do it. Just hit it. Yeah. That's awesome. Most of the places you go are houses? You hit apartments, both?
Both, man. I'll get apartments. I'll get high rises, senior buildings, the 3 flats, 4 flats, all those different apartment complexes. And it's funny because I'll continue to get multiple leads in the same building. And it's kind of nice because then when I get in that apartment building, if I got the appointment set and I get in there and I'm talking with someone and I notice I got 2 other leads in that building, I'll just go knock on their door, see them.
That's awesome.
So it's like, Chicago is a big city, but it's still a small city. So it's like after a while, like you'll start seeing some of the same areas, leads popping up, but it's, because it's the same zip code. And
if you got that list on your phone and you just can search that list, maybe you got those outliers. Good stuff, man. Well, takeaways that I got are consistent investment each week. And with these types of leads, I know the top agents that order week in and week out are ordering 50 plus leads, it seems. And most of them are targeted in an area, and we work, and some of them will break up, like maybe every week they go and they have like 3 or 4 counties if they're in really rural areas like I used to run, and they just try to take those over after about 6 months or so. You've got that customer base, but to stay consistent, you're buying a lot of leads, and if you don't hit your not numbers goal but your goal of your activity goals and you're getting more leads, I found out a couple tips about how you're using them on your phone. And I'm sure, I don't have an Android phone, I have an iPhone as well, but I'm sure they probably work similar where you can search.
Right, you got to be able to search something like that.
Yeah. Working together over the last, I don't know, man, probably going on a year. It's last summer, maybe. I'd have to go back and look
maybe a little bit more. I think I got leads from you a few years back.
Yeah.
And I think I got like 1 batch, and that was like the dumbest decision I could have done, is take 1 batch and make a complete assumption on how things were. And it's, it goes back to the consistency. You stay consistent with it, you're going to figure it out. And, all the other systems that you have in place just are so much better than a lot of other lead vendors that I've used. It just, you make things very user friendly, very simple. Other vendors that I've tried out and used, and I'm trying to get to a lead quick, or I'm trying to get to the next lead to make the phone call. It's like there's all these extra steps and all this stuff, and it's like you have it very laid out, very easily and very simple, and just like I can make the changes onto it when I need to. And it just like once I kind of figured that out and I stayed consistent with it, that's where you and I kind of just clicked. And then I started seeing just my AP go up, my sales go up. And I was like, all right, well,
Awesome.
if this is working, why try to fix it?
Awesome.
Trying to think,
You think
I know the biggest thing is when I'm dialing on them, when I'm getting to the door, sometimes you still have to feel like it's, you're overcoming, that small objection on like, hey, what are you doing here? What is it? Um, I know getting past that and sitting down with people, it's really helped me kind of get to the next part of the whole presentation and everything. Because the way I'm doing my dials, and I don't know if you wanted me to dive into my script a little bit.
Sure.
I could do that just to kind of give you an idea. It's pretty similar to the door knock on what I do. So the script itself, I kind of keep it very, very simple. So when I'm making that phone call, I'll just kind of go through it really quick for you. So when that person answers, I'm just like, hey, Joe, they respond. I go, hey, Joe, this is Mike. I'm calling from the Benefits Center here out in Cook County regarding a package we've got ready to go out to you. Just making sure you're still living at the 123 Main Street in Chicago, the 60623, right?
Yeah.
And they respond, yeah. I go, excellent, Joe. Well, my job's simple. It's just to get you the info and go over it with you. They have me out there tomorrow in the morning around 8, 9 o'clock, and then later on around 3 or 4. Which one works better for you?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay, great. My name is Mike. I'll be driving a white Jeep Grand Cherokee. I'm a taller, good-looking guy with glasses, so you ain't gonna miss me. But I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the afternoon tomorrow around 3 or 4. You have a great rest of your day. Thanks.
Yeah, keep it simple. What was this about again? You get all those things to just sit to train. That's awesome, man.
Keep it short, sweet, and it makes it so much easier for my agents. So I get a new guy that comes in, doesn't matter where he was trained, if he's brand new or whatever, I throw that script in front of him and say, dude, just say these words right here. It's such an easy training material because then I don't have to go so deep into all these extra lines. I can just say, hey, look, this is what you have to say. You'll get your objections on what is it. You just come back and say, hey, it's the new updated info for the programs for Illinois residents in your age group. My job is to get you the info and go over it with you. Will you be home in the morning or the afternoon tomorrow? The afternoon. Great. Close it, get off the phone, show up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having all these flashbacks from my training and traveling and training. I remember Mike and Noel and Andy and that saying, people, it's in their blood to ask a question, even if they know what you said and heard you. What is this about? Who are you again? And it was like, and it frazzles you. And there's like, just repeat what you just said. My name's John, calling from the Benefits Center. Got a package that's got to go out to you. Just need to know if morning or afternoon's the best. Oh, okay. Like that's gold, man. Forget about that stuff. Repeat. People like whatever, want to get in the last word, I guess, like what I'm doing here. But I just want to drive that home about what you said, because those little nuggets, man, just pass people over. Oh, well, it's about, I used to go into a 10-minute thing about what it was. Like, no, shut up. Just repeat yourself and then go on. That's it.
Yeah, the more simple, it's just the simplicity behind things. It helps things work smoothly when you keep it simple. My script is simple. Your leads coming to me is simple. Your portal is simple.
Works on your phone too, the portal. You access it from your phone.
Yeah, I can access it on my phone, hop through there, see what notes I wrote on there. Because then when I set the appointment with that lead, you can change the status of your lead, which is really cool. So I'll do that, like whatever it's new, and I set the appointment processed or docs signed. I'll have it when I sell. Process is when I just like set the appointment, and then I don't have to write in any of the notes because it timestamps it when I make those. So then I already know which day I set the appointment, etc. So it's just a great system, dude. You have it set up, just running with it. So
yeah, if you come across, if you're working on it, I wish it could do this, let me know. Because the tech, they're not my full-time people, they're subs, but man, they make changes quick. I'm always trying to tweak it. So if you come across something you think, let me know. It may not be possible, but if it make it better for everybody, we'll shoot me a note. We'll see what's up.
Yeah, I'll think of a few things and I'll let you know.
Okay, sure. Man. I think I'm good. I know this thing's gonna run out too anyway on time. I can't believe how long we went. Had a blast, man. I'll get this together and I'll let Andy and all the guys know over at the Alliance, and we'll get this out to your team and everybody else.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much. Appreciate all your hard work and getting this stuff over to me. So
appreciate it. Thanks. See you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.